Now at 5:30 on Newswatch.
Complaints about higher electric rates lead to action today by the Public Utilities Commission of Ohio.
Some local post offices will be seeing operations changes.
And could Ohio women's basketball pull off the upset of the year in the Mid-American Conference?
Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens. This is Newswatch.
Businesses in Ohio can expect to receive lower energy bills now that public utility regulators have rejected electric rate increases. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dominique Buccina.
And I'm Doup. The decision by the Public Utilities Commission of Ohio today followed weeks of criticism of the increases, which many small businesses criticize as burdensome. Amarinston Brutengat has more on the story.
When the manager of the college bookstore heard that American Electric Power had plans to increase its rates in January, he took action to try to save money.
About a year ago, signed up with First Energy to buy our electricity from them, which splits our bill. Half comes from AEP for transmission, and we buy our electric from First Energy. That softened some of the impact.
The partial switch to First Energy led to lower electricity costs for the store, but the transmission costs charged by AEP went up. Local coffee shops like Brennan's and Donkey also noticed that their AEP energy bills had gone up. The owner of Donkey Coffee says the amount of money he has to pay to American Electric Power has tripled, but other local businesses have switched to different companies and are now paying less for their energy bills. One of these businesses is Court Street Coffee. Since owner Debbie Falk signed up with a different energy company, her electric bills dropped tremendously.
That was several $100s that they reduced my bill, which made me really angry in one way that I was overpaying all of that. How could they do that? And I'm getting the same electric. Why was I paying so much money previously to AEP?
Many business owners in Ohio shared that feeling. The Public Utilities Commission received hundreds of complaints from businesses about the $300 million increase. That is why today, the Commission ordered AEP to return its rates to the lower, original levels. American Electric expressed its disappointment with the order, but local business owners can expect lower bills in the near future. Amarinston Brutengat, WOUB News.
Joining us now to talk about today's action by the Public Utilities Commission of Ohio is State Representative Debbie Phillips of Athens. Thanks for being here tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Now, is today's decision the correct one?
I think so. I heard from a number of local business owners. I spoke with representatives from the local chambers of commerce in my district, and I heard from local government officials, including school districts and the Fair Board, about the really shocking rate increases that they discovered when they opened their recent electric bills. And I understand the attempt to try to keep the rate costs lower for the industrial customers, which is very important for us keeping that manufacturing here in the Ohio River Valley. But the decision to spread those costs across the other business customers, I think, led to an unfair outcome, and I'm glad to see the action that the PUCO took today.
Did you get a lot of constituent feedback in some levels, or on the rate increase, and what did people have to say about it?
I had local business owners telling me that they were considering closing their doors. There are a lot of small businesses that operate on very narrow profit margins and are really, with the situation with the economy nationally, it's been tough to keep afloat, and people have been just making it. When they saw another financial hit like that, there were some people who were considering just shutting down their business, and I hope that people will be able to reconsider those decisions and try and hang on while the issue is worked on into the future.
A new rate plan is to be proposed, and some level of rate increase is inevitable, right?
I think it remains to be seen. With the changes that have been made in utility law, they do have to go to the PUCO to get these approved. The rate increases that businesses experienced were approved by the PUCO. I think that was a mistake, and I'm glad they were willing to take steps to rectify that. I hope they'll take a much closer look at any potential impacts with the new proposal as that comes forward. And I would encourage people to stay involved. You can follow these cases on the PUCO's website. It's possible for anyone to give their input on a proposed plan. All of those letters that are received by the PUCO are docketed. and included in the discussion as they move forward with any decisions.
Well, Representative Phillips, thank you so much for being here with us tonight.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
A family of 4 was being treated at Buccina Hospital for smoke inhalation after a house fire in Athens early this morning. One of the residents was also treated for a dislocated shoulder. The fire on Mulligan Road caused about $150,000 in damage to the structure and $50,000 in damage to the contents in the home. No names have been released yet. Investigators are offering reward money to anyone who can help with information about a Vinton County fatal fire they have ruled as arson. According to a state fire marshal spokesman, evidence from the fire suggests the blaze was intentionally set. The death of Thomas Haggerty is now considered a homicide. Investigators say a car was seen in the area just prior to the fire. It was a dark-colored car with 3 brake lights, including one in the rear window. Authorities have captured an inmate who escaped from the Fairfield County Jail Monday. The Fairfield County Sheriff's Office says Jeremiah Searles and 2 other individuals were taken into custody last night in Fayette County by deputies acting on a tip. Charges are pending, and the sheriff is looking into whether a felony sex offender belonged at the minimum security jail site.
And good evening from the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm Katie McGraw. It's a pretty beautiful day today. Temperatures right now in Huntington almost 60 degrees. It's unseasonably warm for the end of November. Chilliest temperature is 10 degrees less than Huntington up in Steubenville at 49, and in Athens it is 54. So I hope that you enjoyed your day, because unfortunately the sunny skies and warm temperatures is not going to be sticking around. What happened today was a warm front pushed through the region. Not a whole lot of precip, just clouded up for a little bit. That's why the spike of temperatures occurred. And then for tonight, there's a cold front going to be sweeping through the region, dropping temperatures and bringing the chance to see rain for your overnight tonight. 60% chance. There is even a slight chance to see a thunderstorm, so be aware of that. Temperatures are dropping 1 degree throughout 9 to 3 a.m. Chilliest temperature at 3 a.m. is 46. Dominique and Katie.
Well, it's a shame that the sun won't be sticking around, Katie.
It really is.
Thank you.
Sure.
The U.S. Postal Service has decided to move mail processing operations from 9 Ohio facilities to other sites, mostly in Cleveland or Columbus. Offices in Athens, Chillicothe, and Ironton will be moved to a Columbus facility. The Postal Service also announced mail processing centers in Parkersburg will close and move to another facility as well. The changes are part of a nationwide consolidation of mail processing operations. Officials say that the consolidations are necessary because first-class mail volume has decreased by 25% since 2006. Republican presidential candidate Rick Santorum will be making a return visit to Southern Ohio as he visits the state the weekend before Super Tuesday. Santorum will have a morning rally on March 2nd in Chillicothe. Ohio has 66 delegates at stake on March 6th, the second most among the 10 Super Tuesday stakes.
The West Virginia Department of Education has launched a website to help link career and technical students with potential employers. The website lets employers find career centers and high schools where career training takes place. More than 160,000 high school students and more than 170,000 adults in West Virginia are enrolled in career and technical classes. The Ohio Bureau of Workers' Compensation is working to curb the high cost of compensation in the state. The BWC administrator says the Bureau is reworking the way it handles claims, works with providers, and is introducing a drug formulary. He says the agency's main goal is to help people return to work sooner.
A court filing is recommending the Ohio Supreme Court approve a 6-month suspension of a former Ohio Attorney General's law license. Mark Dan resigned in 2008 amid a sexual harassment scandal. He also pleaded guilty in 2010 to improperly paying 2 aides from political and office accounts and failing to disclose campaign expenses. The State Disciplinary Council says Dan tarnished the reputation of the office. The council notes that no other Ohio Attorney General has ever been subject to discipline. An October trial has been set for an Ohio teen charged with helping a man kill one other victim and trying to kill another in a Craigslist scheme. A Summit County judge set an October 9th date for 17-year-old Brogan Rafferty. He pleaded not guilty last week to aggravated murder and attempted murder charges originally brought in Noble County. Rafferty also faces juvenile court charges in the deaths of 2 other victims.
One of Ohio University's regional campuses is developing new ways to teach students how to start their own local business.
We'll have a live interview with the dean of the campus, Martin Tuck, coming up next on Newswatch.
A critical face-off between the final four Republican candidates took center stage last night, also coming up on Newswatch. Congressional Democrats held a hearing today on the Obama administration's decision to require contraception coverage by health care plans. Despite backlash from Catholic groups that object to the policy, many Democrats say the issue is about women's health, not religion.
I am obviously not a woman, so I can never fully understand how central this issue is to the lives of millions of women across this country. But I am here today to support their right to exercise control over their lives and their bodies, and to make sure that they are never, ever, never, ever denied a voice in this debate.
A poll last week found that 50% of people disapprove of the administration's policy and 44% of people approved.
The results from last night's debate will be clear next week as voters in Arizona and Michigan head to the polls. It was the first debate in nearly a month, and all four Republican presidential candidates had a lot at stake. Sandra Indo has a wrap-up of the latest debate.
Polls show Mitt Romney and Rick Santorum running head-to-head, and from the start, the gloves were off. The two candidates sparred on health care reform. Santorum says Romney had the same plan in Massachusetts as President Obama.
It would be a difficult task for someone who had the model for Obamacare, which is the biggest issue in this race of government control of your lives, to be the nominee of our party. You would take that issue completely off.
Romney fired back, saying Santorum supported the pro-choice senator in Pennsylvania who sided with the president's plan.
If we had said no to Arlen Specter, we would not have Obamacare. So don't look at me, take a look in the mirror.
The candidates sat next to each other in the debate sponsored by CNN. The question of abortion drew unity from the candidates. They turned their sights on the Democratic incumbent.
It is President Obama who, as a state senator, voted to protect doctors who killed babies who survived the abortion. It is not the Republicans.
I don't think we've seen in the history of this country the kind of attack on religious conscience, religious freedom, religious tolerance that we've seen under Barack Obama.
Ron Paul, who is trailing in the polls, showcased his usual frankness, simply explaining his stance on immigration.
Why isn't, if an illegal comes across the border and they go on private property, why isn't that trespassing?
This may be the last time these candidates debate this primary season, but they'll continue to square off on the campaign trail. In Washington, I'm Sandra Endo.
OU's Chillicothe campus students are now using a newly renovated Technology and Business Development Center. The building serves as a center for students interested in starting up their own business after graduation. The dean of the Chillicothe campus, Martin Tuck, joins us today to talk more about the campus addition. Thanks, Dean, for being with us tonight.
Thank you, Dominique. I appreciate the opportunity.
Great. A news release says that this new center serves as a milestone in supporting Chillicothe's mission of serving its students and serving its region. What does it mean by that?
Well, Dominique, in any regional campus for Ohio University, we really have a twofold mission, and that is to educate students in the region, but also the region depends on our facility for a number of things. We rent out our facilities to many organizations in town. In addition, we have continuing education classes. What makes this a milestone is that this is the first building that we've built that really has that dual mission. The point of the building will be for education of students. We'll be holding classes there, but we'll be also holding programming for business development that'll have that, our students will have that opportunity to participate, but also the community as well.
Okay, that's great. And the center is termed as an economic driver. Could you explain that a little bit more?
Sure. Again, because the region is very dependent on Ohio University, this facility will again host programming for entrepreneurship, for business development. What we're hoping is that both our students and also the area residents will use that programming to begin businesses which will then be started in the area, and then that will create jobs. So we're hoping that our facility is kind of the beginning point of those operations.
So the center is very business oriented. Are a lot of students in Chillicothe campus studying business?
There are several. In fact, we have 2 degrees that are business management degrees. We have an associate degree or a 2-year degree in business management. We've also started a bachelor's completion program in business management, not only on the Chillicothe campus, but actually on all 5 of the Ohio University regional campuses. We also have an office technology program. So those are some of our most popular degree programs. It's also important to understand that our regional campuses typically are about 50% traditional, 50% non-traditional students. So many of our non-traditional students have been out in the workforce and are very interested in beginning their own business. So this will give them the opportunity to do that.
And for students that are taking classes in the center, can you talk about what classes they could expect?
Yes, business management classes, also accounting classes, marketing classes. Again, we're very interested in partnering with the College of Business on the Athens campus to offer an entrepreneurship certificate. So we think that's going to be incredibly popular with our students. And the advantage of that is that you don't have to be a business major. You can be another major and interested in starting your own business. You can take part in that certificate.
That's really great news for the Chillicothe campus, and thank you, Dean Tuck, for joining us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Great. Thank you.
It was another good day on Wall Street today, with stocks on average closing on a high note. The Dow closed near the 1,300th mark for the second time this week. Now here's a look at some stocks of local interest.
And so I told you that the rain is going to be returning, but when exactly is it going to be coming back? And if the temperature is going to be this warm, are they going to be dropping? I'm going to cover all this in my extended forecast. Stay tuned. And welcome back to Newswatch. Right now in Athens, it is currently 54 degrees. The winds are out of the southeast at 8 miles per hour. Humidity is at 47%, and that is because the dew point is only at 34 degrees, and pressure is currently falling. That's a typo. I apologize. That's supposed to be 29.68, not 39. And it is cloudy right now, and that is because of the warm front that I was talking about that moved through the region. For your almanac today, you can see that we are above average this time of year, and as I said, we're unseasonably warm for the end of February. We're about 9 degrees warmer for our high and significantly warmer for the lows, but nowhere near, luckily, that low of 1 degree. So I think everyone would rather see the 45s than the 1. Sun rose today at 7:10 a.m. and will set in about a half hour at 6:13. So what I said, there's a warm front that moved through the region. Not a whole lot of precip. Usually precip is right north of a warm front. As that moved through, all it did was cloud up. Next thing that we have to worry about with this low pressure system is a cold front, and that's going to sweep up through the region late tonight, early hours in the morning. So then for tomorrow, what that's going to do, the main event of this storm system is tonight. 60% chance to see a lot of rain. There's a chance to even see thunderstorms. Then for tomorrow, as that cold front moves through, you're going to notice a significant decrease in temperatures. And then for tomorrow night, after that cold front has moved through, the cold air remaining is going to give a slight chance to see, and if any sort of precip that we will be seeing on a Friday night, it's going to be changed to snow. That's how much the temperatures are going to be decreasing. By tomorrow night, it's going to be in the low 20s instead of where we're seeing it at 45. So about a 20-degree drop because of this cold front. And then for Saturday, we're keeping the chance to see a slight chance, about 20% to see any sort of precip on Saturday. Still going to be pretty cold, but then there's a ridge of high pressure, and that's going to start to push east, and that's going to start to clear the skies rapidly on Sunday. So as I said, the main thing to worry about with this storm system is wind and hail. So overall, the amount of precip that we're going to be seeing, not that much. Most we could see for tonight is 1/4 of an inch, and then for tomorrow it's going to be 1/10 of an inch. As I said, temperatures are going to be significantly dropping from today, where we're seeing in Huntington almost 60 degrees. For tomorrow, it's going to be dropping just a little bit before that cold front moves through. And then on Saturday, we're back into the mid-30s, much more February temperatures. Hate to disappoint anybody. For tonight, we'll see a low of 45. There's a 60% chance to see rain, and as I said, possibly a thunderstorm. It's going to be pretty gusty winds, and that's going to continue into tomorrow. High of 47. There's going to be a rain before 8 p.m., and then rain and snow mix 8 to 11, and then only snow after 11 p.m. Those gusty winds are continuing all day tomorrow. There's a slight risk. Warmest temperatures, which is a rarity, at noon at 47, then going to be dropping down to 37. And then for your 7-day forecast, you can see that there's a 30% chance to see rain and snow for tomorrow, and then temperatures significantly dropping for Saturday at 36. Looks like a lot of rain. Only real sunny day is on Sunday, but there's only 30–20% chance for rain. So don't get too stressed.
It's going to feel a little bit more like February in the next couple days.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, Katie.
Sure.
Well, Justin Sampson, I heard the Bobcats had a big win last night. Right?
Yeah, proving a lot of doubters wrong in crunch time when they really needed it. Ohio men's basketball tested its mettle in one of the MAC's most hostile environments last night, and the Ohio women's team pulled off something they haven't done in 9 years. Find out what next on Newswatch. What do you do when it's winning time? How do you respond to the criticism? Ohio men's basketball has been dealing with many of those questions for much of this late season. Namely, could they get a meaningful road win? Well, now they have it, and the question becomes, what do they do with it? Starting off a brutal final swing through the MAC East, the Bobcats bowled their way through Buffalo with an 88–77 win. When the Bobcats found themselves in foul trouble early, Walter Offit answered the call with a career-high 23 points and 7 boards. For the second time this season, the Cats out-rebounded the nation's third-best club in that category. The win is Ohio's third straight and improves their record to 21-6, 9-4 in MAC play. DJ Cooper.
So we know they have some, good bigs, so we just felt like if we get stops and, try to get them tired and try to just push it in transition, hopefully we can crack.
We've just made an emphasis the 2 times we've played. Our guys have a lot of respect for them on the backboard. We know how good they are on the backboard. But I thought we went really hard tonight.
Well, here are the MAC standings. As you see them now, Ohio has managed a tie for second with Kent State with a 9-4 conference mark. They hold the tiebreaker over the Golden Flashes with a win in their 1 meeting so far. Akron beat Bowling Green 79–68 last night to maintain its dominance as the MAC's top overall seed. Miami stunned Kent State on Tuesday, but still sits in the basement. The Bobcats now prepare for their titanic clash with the Zips on Sunday. Well, throughout their careers, Tanisha Benson and her team have certainly had frustrating nights in the Convocation Center. But for all the moments that made Ohio women's basketball grit their teeth, last night was a sweet cap on a sweet career. The senior point guard bid adieu to the Convo by leading the Cats to a stunning 60–56 win over 7-time regular season champ Bowling Green. Benson went 9 for 12 from the floor with a 21.9 board performance. Siobhan Robinson added 20 of her own. With a 20–2 run late in the first half, BG put the Cats in a 12-point hole. Ohio stormed back in the second to beat the Falcons for the first time since the 2007 MAC tournament. It's also the first in Athens since 2002. After winning 3 of their last 4, Ohio sits tied with Akron for third in the MAC East and in a 4-way tie for fourth in the overall standings. Head coach Tamika Randall praised her team afterwards for slaying the Giant.
For the past 4 years I've been here, we've been very, very close at it, and this is the game that I know they mark on their calendar. It's a rivalry game in their mindset. So, yes, it's huge. It's good. Gives us good momentum going to finish out the rest of the season.
Well, Ohio swimming and diving is in the midst of competition in Akron at the conference championships. Preliminaries were held this morning, and sophomore Lauren Williams took first in the 500-yard freestyle. Mary Rose Hillstrom also was tops in her prelim, the 1-meter dive. Finals and relays are slated for tonight, with the tournament wrapping up on Saturday. As the defending MAC champions, the Bobcats registered a 4-1 conference mark with a 9-2 overall record. And while the postseason is on the horizon for most teams, the track and field indoor MAC championships are just about underway. All year long, it's been Julia Curso's party, and now the sophomore tries to distance herself even further from the rest of the pack. Championships will run from tomorrow through Saturday at the University of Akron. Curso has picked up numerous MAC Athlete of the Week awards, as well as breaking the school record for the 5K. She's also picked up the all-time conference record for the fastest 3K and has the quickest times in the 3 and 5K in the MAC this season. Ohio claimed 28 top 10 finishes in the Ohio State tune-up last week. And in NBA news last night, the Cleveland Cavaliers had the chance to string together 3 straight wins for the first time this season, but fell 89-84 to the lowly New Orleans Hornets at Quicken Loans Arena. Anton Jamison led the Cavs with 22 points while Kyrie Irving struggled throughout the night. The rookie shot 2 for 12 from the field, only scoring 6 points to go along with 11 assists. Chris Kaman scored 21 for the Hornets, while rookie Gustavo Ayon recorded a career-high 19 boards. Cleveland trailed for the entirety of the contest, falls to 13-18 on the year, and is under 500 at the Q. So everything's wrapping up with the winter. We're getting into MAC play, conference play, and those postseason pushes. It's just kind of weird that all these winter sports are ending.
I know, I'm ready. I'm definitely ready for the tournament, so that's the most exciting part. Well, thanks, Justin.
Absolutely.
And stay tuned tonight on WOUB.
Here's a look at what's coming up next on your public television station. With our final look at weather.
Yes, for tonight we will be seeing a low of 45 degrees. There's a 60% chance to see rain, and then there is a possibility to see a thunderstorm as well. And then also we have to be aware of the hail and the chance to see gusty winds throughout your night for tonight. And then for tomorrow, it's a high of 47. And with that, it's going to start off your day with rain, and then it's going to mix into a rain-snow mix by 8 to 11. Only snow after 8 p.m. And as I said, keep in mind the fact that there is a chance with the gusty winds for any wind advisory. And then for your 7-day forecast, you can see that there's a 30% chance to see rain for tomorrow. And then what that cold front's going to do is dropping significant temperatures, about 10 to 20 degrees from today to Sunday.
Great, thanks, Katie.
Sure.
And that does it for our broadcast tonight on this 23rd day of February 2012. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.